Okay.
I know Alex is playing at Wazoo 4th of July weekend.
Yeah,
I
nice.
know, he's playing a tournament over there.
Road trip.
Awesome.
I know. Gonna be great. He's so fired up.
I'm so proud he's
That's so
going over
fun.
there. So
Ah.
Yeah.
proud. So proud.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so proud.
Well,
Oh,
I'm U of
there you go.
A, so I'm sorry.
That's all right. I am too. I think we talked about that. I went to U of A
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. Well, and my
I know.
daughter's on the Huskies and for softball, and they're playing the Wildcats on Saturday for championship day. So I'm like, I've got
You're
both
so
gear.
divided.
I know,
Nice.
I'm like, well, I have my Arizona, like I've got my Wildcat gear, but I guess I'll wear my Husky gear.
Probably the right call.
I'm a little torn, but I'll do it for the daughter.
I know.
Yeah.
I know we go to Arizona for tournaments, but we always go to Phoenix. I don't know if they have really have
Yeah, my
such
husband's
big
from
tournaments
there.
in.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
is he?
husband's from there, so we also have kind of a life there too, which is fun. My mother-in-law lives there and cousins and things, so and friends. So a lot of college friends live there because they all came down to Tucson. So,
That's awesome.
but we went a
Very
few
cool.
years ago and it was really different. Like they had the whole downtown Tucson area now is all built up with restaurants and
Oh, that's cool.
breweries and yeah, it's really cool. Like where the that really old hotel was. Um yeah, there was nothing there I think but like a police station and a really old hotel and now it's all new stuff.
That's
So,
awesome. I haven't
yeah,
been back since I graduated. I need to go check it out.
it's cool. Yeah, we want to bring the kids down just to see it cuz that's where we met. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Are we good on timing, Benny? I'm watching the clock a little bit.
Yeah, we about a minute left.
Sweet. All right. We're on Facebook Live, by the way. Good morning,
Oh,
everybody.
hi.
We're not live on the radio, but we are live on
All
Facebook.
right.
It's all good. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll go back at some point. I actually go every summer or every spring to that. There's a Miraval spa that's down in Tucson.
Ooh,
Highly
ooh.
recommend it.
Okay, I
Anybody who's
haven't done
listening to the
that.
Facebook Live,
I love
totally
that.
worth it.
Yeah.
It's
I
awesome.
might need to do like a mother-daughter thing when she's 11 now, so I'll wait a little longer.
Yeah, a little longer, but
Yeah,
it's fun.
cool. That is fun. The last time
Yeah.
we went, we stayed in the up in the beautiful like in the foothills and it was
Oh yeah,
so
that's so
pretty.
pretty.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're talking about the University of Arizona down in Tucson. If you're just tuning into Facebook Live.
Yep.
Yay. All the places we went to college, reliving the magic.
That's right.
It's good stuff.
How life is different now.
Right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Very, I guess, at the
I
moment.
know. We're
Yeah,
getting there, little bit by little bit.
we sure are. Yeah, it
All right,
was
ready to come on board?
All right, let's do it.
All right, stand by.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 425 Show, your place to be for all things real estate and lifestyle related here on the East Side. I'm your host, Nicole Mangina with Windermere Real Estate. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I hope you had an amazing Memorial Day weekend. We had sunny weather. Woohoo! Doesn't always happen for Memorial Day weekend, but it did. And oh my goodness, to all of the allergy sufferers out there, sending you a virtual fist bump. Wow, it was rough. Oh my goodness. I guess the best part about this weekend is I got to embrace my inner rock star because I went down with allergies and I cannot leave the house without really dark sunglasses on right now because my eyes are so sensitive. So I had to be a rock star all weekend. People are like, it's almost dark outside. Why do you still have your glasses on? Because I'm outside. So anyway, part of life in the Northwest. I think everywhere has their allergy season and we are in the heat of it right now. So hopefully we're almost done, but know that I'm feeling you if you're out there suffering too. All right, today's real estate update. It's more of a timing thing to just know that we're heading into a time of year where the market gets a little bit sporadic as different events happen. Like this weekend, we just had Memorial Day weekend, not a lot of real estate activity, really slow with listings, and then not a lot of sales because it was nice weather. People are getting vaccinated and they're starting to actually get out and travel and do those things. So just know that if you're a buyer, know that there's going to be weeks where lots of things come on the market, and then weeks that feel pretty quiet. And as you're trying to wonder why, a lot of it's going to have to do with just the time of year. Also, then as a seller, when you're looking at when do you bring your house on the market, one weekend versus another can make a huge difference in the amount of activity you get and therefore the results. So make sure you're working with an agent who's tied into that. Perfect. And the most obvious example is July 4th is on a weekend this year. And I think, like I said, there's some pent up demand to just kind of get out of town and go enjoy somewhere else other than our own houses where we've been so cooped up for the last year. So I would not recommend listing your house or coming on the market the week of July 4th. Do it the weekend before or the weekend after, but not that weekend. I think you're going to miss out on a substantial amount of activity. If you have questions about buying or selling real estate, I invite you to reach out. I am always happy to help. You can find me via email, nicole@nicolemangina.com. There you go. And now I'm excited for our guest today. We have Marcelle Waldman, with My FeelLinks joining us today. Such a cool product.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you on the show. How are you? How are you feeling today?
Oh, gosh. Well, thank you for asking. I feel like that question is so important, right? Especially
Yeah.
given what we are about to talk about today. So I am feeling super excited to be here with you. And I really, really appreciate you having me on today.
Yeah.
And I'm also, feeling a little bit anxious. We're we're live, but I've done a few of these little podcasts and different things. So I think I can handle this one. And just I am feeling proud. I'm feeling proud of where I'm at. I'm feeling proud of my children today. Like we also had a great weekend outdoors, and my son got to play some baseball, and so great weekend we just had, and the sun is out. So feeling some good things today. Thank you for asking.
I love it. That is so
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, this was the first kind of normally feeling weekend I think we've had in a
Yes.
while, right? People are out, there's groups of people. I went into a store without a mask on. It
I
was
was
a
gonna
little
say
nuts. I know.
our team, we showed up to our tournaments this weekend, and day one we kind of all still had our masks on, and like by day two we were all pulling them off. It's like, well, we're past our 2 week marks here. We're good, and then we'd walk through a crowd of people. I'd kind of put it back on, like, I'm not really sure, but yeah, it felt really nice, especially in the heat, to not have that, feeling.
Heat, allergies, and a mask
Oh
is not
yeah.
working.
Yeah. As soon as they dusted the fields though, I put it back on. I was like, okay, I can't breathe more of this in. But yeah, it
That's
was it
probably a
was
good
really
call.
nice. It was a great feeling being out there, and like you said, seeing people out and just enjoying and having good conversation. So yeah, it was
That's
a good weekend.
awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, My FeelLinks, I
Yeah.
would love for you to just share with our audience, what is it?
Sure.
And what brought you to create this? Because it's such a cool thing.
Thank
It's
you.
designed for kids. I think we
Yeah.
all need it. Adults could
Yes.
use this as
I
well,
know, I know.
especially
I've
right
been told
now.
that plenty of times. Like, where's my feelings for me? I need them. So,
Right.
um, let me just go back a little bit so I can give a little background on myself and just like
Sure.
why this came to be. So,
Yes.
um, so I actually grew up. Sorry, I grew up in the 206. I grew up on Mercer
It's okay.
Island.
We love all area codes here.
Oh, perfect. Good, good. So I grew up on Mercer Island, and gosh, I spent my actually preschool, elementary, middle school, and high school, went all through school there. I grew up with my brother and a single mom, and just kind of a little bit of a different growing up than a lot of
Yeah.
our surroundings. And I got to go off to college, and I went to University of Arizona. Woo, woo. So did
Yay.
you? Yeah. And I studied elementary education. Like my top priority was find a school where I could study education and also dance, because I was also a dancer. So I was able to take dance classes. I took lots of psychology courses. I was like really into, that on the side, but I ended up majoring in elementary education and graduated U of A. And I came back and got a teaching job back on Mercer Island where I grew up. So shout out to my Lake Ridge Lions. So I taught there for 8 years. I taught kindergarten, a wonderful experience. We had, a great program that was in our school, also an autism spectrum program. So I was had the pleasure of having some children with one-on-one support in my classes, and really I tried to learn more about autism and how to work with kids. And what I realized was all of the social skills that I was reading about were not only for those children, but all needs, all children. So
Right.
in that, I realized I don't really have a curriculum. So I am going to go figure out how to teach these kiddos all of these great social emotional skills, because they all need them. So they might know all their math skills and they might know all these great things right now coming into kindergarten, but what they really need to know is, how do I treat other people? How do I take care of myself? So I went and I researched and I found things and I brought them into the classroom. They were books, they were journals. I was having kids write in journals. We were reading stories. I was finding books on how to teach specifically. How do I ask someone to play? How do I sit and listen? How do I engage in conversation? What do I do if I feel left out? So, really explicit teaching. So, again, I was just finding things that would work.
Right.
And I found that all kids needed all of this, and it was really important. So I really just grew a huge passion for social emotional learning. So as I was teaching kindergarten, I then had my children. And so I took a little bit of time and I substituted and took a little time off. And then when my son was 3 and went to preschool, I started teaching preschool for a couple of years and found the same thing. Like, here I am. There's not actually like a curriculum. So I brought a curriculum into the preschool, really focusing on feelings. And, from there, kind of realized like, I could create something that works for kids to be using at home, kids to be using at school, and really focus on emotions. And that was really important. And I'll tell you why. Because if we can understand our own emotions and we can understand others' emotions, then we have a huge um, leg up on our successes in our relationships. I mean, think about people you work with, right?
Right.
On an everyday basis. Like, you want someone to understand and be able to read you. You want to be able to read them. You want to have those skills. And so, if we can build those into kids from a young age, then we are really setting them off on these lifelong important skills that will serve them in life. So, that is kind of a long story on how this came to be. And then I want to go back to my childhood. So when I was growing up, like, what I created would have been so good for a mother like mine, who was, trying to juggle life and children and job and, all the things that we're all juggling, right?
Hmm.
And I wanted to create something tangible for kids and for parents. And so this is a set of feeling dolls. And for those of us that are live here, I can show you there are 4 of these dolls, and they each have, a feeling. So we have calm and excited, and there are 3 more here. And it's also a journal that looks like this. It's a nice lay flat journal for kiddos. And it's all about our feelings. How am I feeling? And being able to name our emotions. And that's really where this all came from.
I love it. That's
Thank
so
you.
amazing.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's so great that you saw the need, which is clearly there, but you were able to
Yeah.
develop something. If you're just tuning in, we have Marcelle Waldman joining us on the show today, the founder and creator of My FeelLinks, which is designed to help kids understand and articulate their
Yeah.
feelings,
Yeah.
which is it's such a huge thing. And you're right, it's not taught. Um,
Right.
and I think even as parents, it's something we gloss over, don't think about. And the reality is not all adults are good at this either.
No.
So
And it is so true. And I think even for myself, like the number one thing that I would say for parents, right, or caretakers is
Yes.
that if we can try to do it for ourselves and we can model it. Now, we are not perfect at this. Like, I do not manage my emotions every time with my 9 and 11-year-old, right?
Right.
But I also think it's good for them to see when we don't and let them know. But if we can, kind of let our children know or speak out loud, like my daughter's sometimes like, I don't really like when you're talking to yourself like that. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to let you know that I am frustrated right now and I need a break. So the more we can model it, and we need to practice that as adults,
Right.
the more our children see it and hear it, and they're watching, they're listening. And if we know that more than this last year and a half, like of us all being together, like
Right.
24/7, and lots of emotions going on this last year. And I think we've been talking more about social emotional learning in our children and really hoping that, our kids are getting those needs met through school. But we have to remember that this is a partnership. This is our homes. This is our schools. It's our community. Like, this doesn't just happen in one place. We need to
Right.
rely on making sure that we are doing this in all settings for our kids. And even if you feel like, oh my goodness, my kiddo knows how to say, I'm sad and or I'm happy, and they don't know anything else. You know what? There's a starting point, and then we learn to teach them other feelings and emotions. Like, my 11-year-old can tell me that she's feeling anxious about something, right? But your 3-year-old's not going to necessarily understand the difference between feeling scared or feeling anxious. But over
Right.
time, those are the things that we're trying to teach, right? So those are the things we want them to be able to kind of, as I call it in the journal, there are places where these 8 core emotions are what I focus on, but then there are what I call words to grow on. So we're teaching them that um, happy is a great like core feeling, and we can use happy a lot, but we also can feel like grateful or um, I'm thrilled about something, or when I'm feeling calm, maybe I'm just peaceful right now. Like, so just teaching more specifically so that our kids get better at expressing it. They also get better at managing it. Like, if they can name it, they can tame it, right? I think we've
Right.
all
Oh, I
maybe
love
heard
that.
that. Like, it's true though, right? Like, I know when I can say I'm feeling angry, like, how do I now bring myself down? Because I'm an adult and I've practiced that a lot over time. But our children, they need to learn how to be angry and then how to manage that feeling. They can't
Right.
just, they're not going to figure it out. And I am at fault for this too, but like sending my kid to their room and saying, well, you're mad, so I'll see you later. Like, that might not work. I have a little guy who that was the worst thing I could have done. Like,
Yeah.
that did not work for him. He wanted a hug. Like, he did not want to be sent away from me. He wanted to be close to me when he was mad, or
Yeah.
when he was littler. He's 9 now. But yeah, so we need to figure out, and our kids need different things, right? Like, my
Right.
daughter is not the same as my son. When her needs, she's more of a, I want to go in my room and be quiet. That's how she
Hmm.
regulates. That's her favorite, or
Yeah.
putting on symphony music. That's her other one.
I love it. That's so
Right?
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to practice as adults. And I think if we can get better at modeling what that looks like for our kids, and then
Yeah.
things like the dolls that I was saying that I created to go with the feelings journal, they've been really good for kids to be able to, even verbal children, to be able to communicate how they are feeling by grabbing the doll, by using them. They're using them for imaginative play. Some kids are using them to even speak to their parents about how they're feeling.
I
So it's
love it.
right? Like, what kid doesn't want these like super soft, squishy dolls? And they also have these touch points. There's the head, the heart, and the belly. And those are because that's where our emotions are felt throughout our body. And if we can
Yeah.
understand a little more, like, gosh, when I'm excited, my heart rate goes up, or even when I'm scared. But when I'm calm, things are feeling my heart rate goes down, my head feels light, so getting our kids to just really understand and learn that we have to teach it to them. We have to teach it to them.
I think that's great. If you want to go check these out, you can go to myfeellinks.com.
Mhm.
You have, and people can buy the journal and the dolls
Yep.
on there. I
Yep.
think this is so great for kids to
Thank
have
you.
and for parents to work with their kids. And you were kind of talking about it just now, but one of the things I really liked when I was on your website is you have, descriptions of the emotions, but you describe the thought part of it, but like you said, also the physical reaction part of it.
Yes.
Because the reality is, some of us are more, kinesthetic or visual
Yes.
or I forget what the other one is. But
Right.
we
Yeah,
experience things differently. Some people can
absolutely.
more easily get in contact with this is how I feel physically versus like this is what's going on in my head. And I
Yes.
think I love that you describe it in different ways so that it's easier for people to kind of go, okay, that's, to identify where they fall in
Right.
that part of
And
it.
and I love that point because what we also know is that we all have mental health, right? That is a part
Right.
of all of us. We all have
Yeah.
mental health.
It's a thing. Yeah.
So,
And it's important.
yeah, it's important. And we're actually we just wrapped up Mental Health Awareness Month, but we need to keep that awareness going that like if and this is a huge part of it, being able to sit with our emotions but not like sit in them, right? Like
Right.
I am feeling these things. I am not these things, but I am feeling these things. And what can I do about that? And you know, being able to, as a child, talk to your parent, no matter what age you are. I still call my mother. We talk more than once a day. And I still talk about how I'm feeling, and she can still read me. And we still have that, I mean, she's my closest friend too. So I think it's really important that, like I said, that we teach our children to communicate that and know that their behaviors are about something. And
Right.
so we need to be able to tune into that with our kids. We need to be able to validate how they're feeling, let them express how they're feeling. That doesn't mean it's okay to go hit or throw something. We need to teach them that that's not okay. But being able to express it, being able to then learn how to manage it and problem solve this, the situation at hand or the feelings that are happening. Those are the important things that we need to help our children learn,
I
without
think
a doubt.
that's so great.
Yeah.
Well, and you were talking about it on your website as well. It's and like I love that whole phrase, if you can name it, you can tame it.
Yeah,
That's so
right?
perfect.
I know. Yes.
But it's the whole also, once you can name it for yourself, you can
Right.
also realize that, okay, well, if this causes me to react this way, it's probably like that for other people too.
Yes. Oh,
So,
absolutely. Yes.
what it opens up for, okay, how do you want to respond to somebody based
Yes.
on what they have going?
Well, and let me just tell you, so in the feelings journal, as you said, we're all different learners. You are not getting a journal and like, oh, well, great. Now I know what to do with this. No, um, there are pages for the adult to read through. What do I do with this? What's a great way to use this, the journal and the dolls? How do I, um, it talks about how we don't just throw a journal at an angry child. That is
Right.
not
Yeah.
what I'm
Figure it out.
suggesting at all. It is the dolls are great. Like they're used anytime. I've got kiddos that carry them around in their backpack. I've got, I mean, I'm getting these great stories. I've got, um, there's a school counselor out in Delaware who's using them, and she's using them. She's a McKinney-Vento um, site person, which means she works with children in transitional housing and
Mm,
and homelessness. And the dolls have been like an amazing piece for these kiddos because they're able to really
yeah.
talk about their emotions, and then those touch points she's just loving. But my point is, you're not left high and dry. As you said, we're all different learners. So I have things kind of like typed out so you can read through what to do. But then I have like these great little, like beautiful artistic graphics that kind of like a flow
Yeah.
chart, like how do I use this with my child? So you don't have to be a counselor or a doctor or a teacher to know like what to do with this, but it does tell you in the beginning, what do I do with it? But what I also want to say is that I talk about it in the journal as well, but we were just saying, like, what are the things we're learning from this? And there are 5 things, and I'm just going to read them because I don't want to say anything wrong. But so self-awareness is the first one. And that's just really like getting to know ourselves. So why is emotional intelligence this whole idea of like knowing our emotions and understanding them and understanding others? So self-awareness is just really knowing ourselves and understanding how we feel day to day and moment to moment. And those change. Like it's all waves all day long. We're in and out of lots of feelings. Self-management, being able to manage those emotions, being able to take care of ourselves. Like these are those lifelong skills. Social awareness, reading how other people are feeling, finding, empathy, knowing how to react to somebody else in a social situation. And then just relationship skills, building those in the workplace, building those in the home, building those out in your community. And
Mhm.
then responsible decision making, right? So if we are asked to do something that maybe isn't the right thing to do, maybe at first you think that sounds fantastic, and then you're like, but that is not a good idea. So
Right.
yeah, so making responsible decisions. So these are not from me. These are from amazing scientists who have studied this. And I have just taken a whole lot of time and put my passion into why it is important for us to have what is called emotional intelligence. Because more and more they're finding those gurus in this world, that is not my findings, but that it is and can be a predictor more than our academic achievement in our lives. And if you think about your everyday social skills, your relationships with others, out at work too, as you get older, those are all really important things for us to have. So that is why this set is so important to me, and why being on here and talking about this and just educating our community is really important to me.
I love it. Again, if you're just
So,
tuning in, we have Marcelle Waldman, the founder and creator of My FeelLinks. Geez, I'm having a hard time with the pronunciation of stuff today.
it sounds like feelings, but it's feel links, right? It's like,
Exactly.
it's a little tongue twister. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a
So
good
you
play
can
on words though.
I like it. Yeah, no, it's perfect. So you can go to myfeellinks.com, or you can also go to nicolemangina.com/podcast, and we will have links to everything after the show. Because you've got a great journal that kids
Thank
can
you.
use. And I love the prompts that you have in there. And then those little, well, who doesn't need another stuffed animal? You always
I know,
need
right?
more
Look at these guys.
stuffy things, right?
They're pretty
Yeah.
angry, right?
Super angry. I love it.
I know, right?
Oh,
And they're super, this is scared. They're super soft. They're nice and squeezable. A lot of children love like that feedback too, of just
yeah.
squeezing. So maybe when they're feeling, angry, maybe just that feedback and that squeezing. Or I talk about putting them on their bellies and
Yeah.
breathing with them. So teaching that breath of like, breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, breathing out for 4. They call it box breathing. So you could think about 4
Right.
and hold for 4, and these are great ways to help our children figure out how to calm the emotion, right? We're not trying to say get
Right.
rid of it, don't have it. We're just trying to talk about how do we, now that we're up here and we're feeling super excited and we're kind of over the top, how do I come back down a bit and get to that point of, like my head is a little more clear and now here we go and move forward.
Right.
But like I said, it's not about getting rid of the emotion. It's about we're having it and now what do I do about it? So yeah, we could breathe with these, squeeze them, they could throw them. I mean, don't let the dog get them because that might not go well. But they're all
Hey, dogs have feelings too.
They
I know.
do.
It is true. It is true. I know. But yeah, and these little, like I said, these little toys, I mean, they're toy tested. It's like went from teacher to manufacturing stuff. It was like, okay, I got to learn this whole thing. And when they're for children, you got to have everything toy tested and up to up to up to all the regulations. So
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I so appreciate you being here. Again, Marcelle Waldman with myfeellinks.com. We'll have
thank you.
everything on the website for you after the show. Thanks so much for joining us
Thank you
today.
so much. It was such a
Uh,
pleasure.
Absolutely. Take care, everybody. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Perfect.